Morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. Who is missing? Sana? It's Sana and Ammalite. Yes. Okay. All your exams are over, right? Now free, right? Kind of. I thought of starting with the practicals. We have practicals to be completed in term 1. So obviously we can start studying the basics and all those things. So please take the textbook. The back of the textbook, we have the guidelines for practicals. Guidelines for practicals in psychology. Take page number 197. 196, 197. From there we have it. Okay. And I think a report writing format we already discussed in the previous year. I gave you a format for that, aim and all those things. Yes, and we wrote one sample test also, right? Remember last year? Yes. Okay, so just like that, we have to do 2 tests for term 1. 2 tests will be required for term 1, and term 2 only 1 test will be there. As per the syllabus, in term 1, you have to, in class, you have to learn 2 tests, and for the exam, you'll have only 1. Just 1 test. Okay. So we'll begin. Before that, do you remember anything about rapport building, establishing a rapport? We did a lot of role plays last year. Remember? Yes. So we'll watch a video and come back. Okay. It's not a very scientific method, but there is an expert person talking about how to establish rapport in 3 easy ways. It depends on the individual, depends on the practitioner, how to establish it and when to establish it and which are the tricks and methods we use. But this is, I found it a bit informative. So we'll see that when come back. Okay. What did you understand from the video? Which are the 3 tricks mentioned? I really like the last one. Right away, right away. First one was?
Recalling the name.
Yeah, about timing. Second one is don't overdo it. Don't try to get over friendly with them. It'll again ruin the, if it is in therapy, obviously it ruin the therapeutic relationship. If it is in the test taker and the tester, then obviously that will also be ruined. Okay. So don't overdo it. Just go on a moderate pace. So do you remember anything that we discussed in the last, the previous classes last year about rapport? What were the important points to be noted?
Eye contact, posture, the way we talk, the tone.
Yes. Other than that?
Making a comfortable environment.
Yes. Meghna?
Smile warmly.
Yes. Should have a pleasant expression. All that is not there in the textbook. That's why I'm asking you. Because all these things, usually what happens is theory will be taken in elaborate manner, and finally when we come to practicals, the teacher will teach us how to do the test, how to score the test. They'll hand over the manual and then finished. And the final exam we'll have to suffer, because the main thing in psychology and practicals in psychology is how to establish rapport. How much are you able to make contact with the test taker or the respondent, and how much you're able to understand the depth of the test. Why are we using the test? What are the properties of the test? That is reliability, validity, and all those things of the test. Then, do you know how to handle this test? Do you know how to deliver the instructions or administer the test to the participant or the subject? Then, do you know how to score it? How much information do you, even if you're doing one test, you have to know so much about that single test. Okay. So why are we doing the test? Why are we having practicals in psychology? I have had people asking me, do you have practicals in psychology? Why? What do you do that? What do you do in that? Did somebody ask you to? Not yet. Yes. Why do you think we have practicals in psychology? Or do you think there is a necessity for practicals in psychology? Do you think? Hmm?
Yes,
Yes. Then why?
because we feel more connected with the people, and psychology is all about being more connected to people.
Okay. But why should we test in psychology? In practicals, obviously, we do psychological tests and experiments, isn't it? Why is there a need for that? Or why are we testing?
So that we'll know how to do it. So all of a sudden, if we are given a paper and a pen and asked to go and test, we won't be struggling.
Okay. No, I'm asking the point of doing the test itself. Why are we actually doing the test? Now I'm giving you practice because I don't want you all to suffer in the final exam. That's true. But why are we having psychological tests in the practicals in a course in psychology? Why is it present in the syllabus? What is the use of it?
To check whether we understood the concept or not.
Then examinations are enough, isn't it? For English, how do you test? If you have understood the concept, you'll write an exam after studying. That we already have in psychology. Then why are we having practicals? Think, brainstorm. Huh.
Because it is part of psychology.
Why is it a part of psychology? That's what I'm asking. It's clear that you haven't thought this way. So, this is the chance. We have plenty of time. Think and answer. Why are we having practicals in psychology? Like, seriously, I've had so many people coming to me and asking, why do you have tests in psychology? Why do you have practicals in psychology? It's all about Pavlov's dog and Freud's iceberg, isn't it? That's a question that people ask. They clearly know about Pavlov's dog and Freud's iceberg. It's a very famous concept. Both of them are very famous concepts. And based on that, what are we testing? That's a question. That's the question that they ask. But we know the even more scientific part of it, isn't it? So you guys tell me, why are we having tests? Why do we do a test generally? If not a psychological test, why do we do a test?
To understand the other person.
To understand the other person. Okay. Have you ever gone somewhere and got a test in anything other than the examinations and tests that you have at school? Yes, Raina is nodding. What is it? What test did you undergo? If you can share with us, if you don't mind.
like scholarship or any other test?
I know, I'm not asking about academic part.
Okay.
The
Um,
other kind of test where you wanted to get tested.
What psychological?
Anything other than your examinations. Anything
Yeah,
other
I have
than
done a
academic.
psychological test
Ah,
like IQ.
IQ.
Like, yeah, when I was very small, I was very weak in maths and very weak in studies. My father
I
thought
think
I
you
was,
told, you told
yeah,
it. Yes.
yeah. He thought I have bad IQ.
Hmm.
The doctor tested me, showed me some object that some papers and some foolish questions. What I am doing now, what I am sitting now.
Ah,
I have done
yes. And why did you go and do it? Again, father
IQ.
insisted, isn't it? Okay. Okay. To know about IQ. And why was he worried about the IQ?
Because I'm not doing well in studies. I was like, some problem was there. I don't know. Actually, there was no. My
Okay.
IQ is normal.
I understood. But I'm asking, how will I ask that? I'm asking you, why was he worried about that particular factor? Like, if this child is not having IQ, then let it be. He would have thought like that, right? Why? What did not stop him there from leaving you like that? Don't tell me because he is my father.
Actually, if there is some difficulty, you want to treat it.
Hmm.
Make sure I goes in a better way.
Yes. Okay. Any other student here who has got a test? Not really psychological, but any kind of tests. No one. Not even a blood test. Ashish,
Yes, ma'am.
what test?
Uh,
Eh?
uh, interview like
Interview.
in school. In school,
In school, what kind of interview?
not like interview. One teacher asked many questions about our family
Hmm.
and our details.
Why? What was the purpose?
To check our mental health. Any problem in families.
Okay. Well-being. To know your well-being, isn't it?
It was
Might be.
compulsory to all.
Okay, that's good. Okay. And why do you think they did that?
Simply,
Simply, she was sitting free at home, so she just came to all of you and asked a few questions and went back. What was the purpose of that?
to
Like
find
common sense?
problems in students.
Yeah, to find problems among students so that they can be actually diagnosed and then treated if there is a serious problem, isn't it? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Anybody else? Again, I was talking about blood test. Nobody has done a blood test? Then, Elvina, why did you go for a blood test?
Because to check whether that I have a problem in like I have the problem with thyroid. So
To check its abnormal levels.
yes.
Yes, T4, TSH and all those things.
But when checked it was normal.
Okay. Now I'm asking, what did you test in blood? I know. In blood, what did you check? What element did you get tested?
Like sodium, to check the sodium and
Okay, let it be. Again, that was also done to find out the abnormal levels, isn't it? And if there is a problem, we have to treat it. In psychology, generally, that is the basic concept of doing a test, to understand the basic levels of various psychological attributes, and then if there is a problem, if there is an abnormality, to get treated or to treat the other person. If we are testing, obviously we'll suggest some methods, isn't it? And for some people, they just out of curiosity come for the tests. In academics, generally, when we do the practicals or when we do the psychological tests, the main highlight is to apply the principles that we have studied in the theoretical concepts. Okay, like if we are doing a test on attention, we have learned attention theories. Remember, in attention, perception, sensation, that chapter, we have learned different theories. So based on that, we can apply. We have distraction of attention, sustaining attention, span of attention. So many tests are there like that. So basically, the whole point of doing the test in psychology is to apply. Means from a student's perspective, it is to apply the theories into practice. Okay, that's a topic that we have in page 196. In the starting portion, we have 2 paragraphs. That's regarding this introduction to the guidelines. Why do we need a psychological test in this course? Why do we need to practice it? How are we doing it? Then what is the role of the student here? Basically, you are supposed to become acquainted with all the tools, all the tests that we use in psychology. That is the main point. Okay, so after this, if you want to choose psychology as your career option also, it will be useful for you. Not only for that, in real life situations, you can apply these. The building of rapport, establishing rapport. That's not only important for psychological tests, but next time when you meet a new person, maybe a stranger, or maybe after your academics, you start a new career. So there also you'll meet new people, isn't it? And there, establishing rapport is like a life skill for you. You meet new people, you establish rapport with them, you maintain relationships with them, and interpersonal relationships. To enhance interpersonal relationships, establishing rapport is very important. Okay. So if there is a question at all regarding the use of rapport, why should we establish rapport? You can elaborate on these ideas. Understood? Okay. So, Elvina, just start reading the first paragraph. Please listen carefully. The same thing that we discussed now.
Ma'am, psychological testing.
No, dear. The introduction part, first paragraph. Under guidelines for practicals in psychology.
Psychological tools and techniques help to uncover the latent aspects of individual's behavior.
Latent means, just a minute. Latent means hidden. So the hidden aspects. If one day one student is coming and getting the IQ tested, from next day onwards, he knows what his IQ is, isn't it? Till then, he or she did not know the level of IQ. It was hidden. Yeah, just like that, anxiety. If they're testing anxiety, they don't know what is the level of anxiety that they're going through. Or maybe their personality. They might not know what their personality, the real personality is. They might think that they are a very kind, generous person, but after getting tested, they might turn out to be a very narcissistic person. Okay, it might happen. Yes, and especially these narcissistic people, they have an inflated self-image. They think good about themselves too much. Okay, yes. Elvina, continue.
Thus, they aid in understanding, predicting, and controlling the human behavior, which is the fundamental aim of psychology. Practicals in psychology are intended to provide students with requisite knowledge and skills in psychological tools and techniques to gain an understanding of human behavior. They attempt to provide hands-on experience to the students with both quantitative tools of measurement, such as standardized psychological tests, and qualitative tools such as interview and observation. Practicals are based on the principle of learning by doing, and
Underline that. Learning by doing.
And thus they provide an opportunity to the students to put into practice whatever psychological principles and theories they have learned in this classroom.
Okay, next paragraph. Sneha, can you read?
Before undertaking practical work, it is important to ensure that the students have the knowledge about various methods of research in psychology and their merit and demerit. The behavioral characteristics being assessed, the nature and the use of psychological tests, and the ethical guidelines so as to avoid their misuse. Keeping in view the syllabus of psychological for class 12, the students would undertake practicals in psychological testing, which would involve using standardized psychological tests in different domains. Example, intelligent personality, aptitude, adjustment, attitude, self-concept, and anxiety. They would also prepare one case profile, which will include development history of individual case using both qualitative and quantitative approach.
Okay. So as per the new syllabus, the revised one, case profile is not given. It's not compulsory, but if we get time, we'll study that also. Okay. After term 2's portions. It comes in term 2 and it is deleted also. So if we get time, we'll go through case profile also. But as of now, we just have one test in, sorry, 2 tests to be completed in term 1 and 1 test to be completed in term 2. That's the whole set of practicals. Okay. And yes, did you see a statement here? Before doing the test or before starting the practicals, the student should be aware of the different methods of research as well as ethics. Are you aware of all that? I'm sure that I have taught, but do you know? Yes. Kind of. Yeah. What were the ethical guidelines that we studied? I think it's from chapter 2, class 11. Sneha, I can spare you because you are not there. So the rest of you. What were the ethical guidelines? If you don't know the terms, just tell me the concept. We can name it now.
We are not supposed to share the details of the clients to any other parties.
Details of the client to any other participants. Okay. So what should be maintained?
Confidence.
Confidence.
Confidentiality.
Very good. Confidentiality should be maintained because that was his topic, seminar topic last day. Confidentiality has to be maintained. Sneha, if you don't understand any terms, please ask every now and then. Okay. Yes. So confidentiality has to be maintained. And for maintaining confidentiality, what do we do? Do we write the entire name of the participant?
The first letter and the initial of the first.
That is initials. We write just the initials. If it is Elvina Jai, we write EJ. If it is Amal Raj, what is your full name?
Amal Raj S.
Amal Raj S. So we can write AS. Amal Raj is your name, isn't it? Okay. Yes. Then again, if it's Reina Mariam, we write Reina Mariam. And Anub is also there, no? At the end, yeah, RMA. We can write RA or RMA. That's according to the tester or the administrator. Okay. And other than this method, we can also use numbers. Some fictitious numbers can be assigned. Like if you're doing a research, not in terms of the participants and the tester in psychological testing, but when we are doing a research, that means we'll have too many participants, isn't it? So we'll have a list of participants who are the participants of the study. That will be already prepared. And in that, we can assign numbers. Maybe starting from 50, we can start from 100, we can start from 1, we can start from 0, anything. According to the researcher, we can assign numbers. Okay. And we can write that number in the response sheet of the participant. Like our token numbers in hospitals. They call out your token numbers, isn't it? 035, next is 531, like that. Okay, so to maintain confidentiality, you should not share the personal information that the client has given you with anybody else, not only regarding the name and all those things, but also the responses that the person has given. That means you should not share the personal information or a very sensitive information that the person has given about themselves to their family members, unless it is causing dash to the person as well as others. What is that? Harm. Again, suicidal cases or rape cases, in that case, you can share the information. Not like you can make it so public. You should inform the authorities, whoever is concerned. Okay, that's how confidentiality is maintained. Then what else? What else are the ethical guidelines that we studied?
We should not force any participants to participate in a particular experiment.
Hmm.
They should come on their own wish.
Yes, their own will and wish should be maintained. So what do we call that? Starting with V. Short form is VP. Okay. I'll give you the description. You give me the one word. The participants should participate in the study voluntarily. So what do we call it?
Voluntary participation.
Voluntary participation. Simple. Okay, so confidentiality is one thing, then voluntary participation is another thing. Okay. Now, before doing any test, before doing any research, we have to get permission from them, isn't it? What do we call that? If you want to go for an excursion from school with your friends, usually you go to your parents. For 1 week, you'll be very good child at home, isn't it? And you'll get something signed by your parents. What is that?
Contractual nature.
Huh?
Contractual nature of the
Contractual letter. Do you call
Yeah,
it contractual letter?
between the therapist and the
Okay, okay. Yes, but we have a name for that. If we are doing a research, then we inform the client or the participant about all the processes that the person has to undergo, and we'll get something signed by them. What do we call that? Short form is IC. During my school days, we had a name, another name for this thing that we get signed from parents for school tours and all. Consent letter. Have you heard?
Individual consent.
Informed consent. It's informed consent. We inform the person about it and we get their consent. Okay, so informed consent is important. Informed consents are not always present in psychological testing, but when we're doing a research, that is important. Because with the questionnaire, in the front sheets, we'll have the socio-demographic details that person has to fill in. And along with that, we'll have the informed consent also. We are doing a research. My name is this. I mean, if I am a researcher, I'm Sneha Raje. I'm conducting a research on this topic, and these are the sample of my study. And maybe a brief of a study will be given, and then one line will be in the end. I am willing to participate in the study, and the name and sign. There will be a space for name and sign. So that is an informed consent form. Okay. So getting the informed consent is important, very important. Then,
Test security.
hmm?
Test security.
Test security in the sense,
Like these, whether test is taken, the paper should be secure.
Oh, yes.
not
And
to
also the results, how you present the results of the study or the results of the test. Maybe you're not in a good mood, so you just, for a person who is supposed to get an average IQ, you just give them a random score and yeah, this is your IQ. Can you do that? No, obviously not. So the way you present the results should be taken care of. And also it should not hurt any particular population or a sample of people or the client. And if the again, if a person is they are doing the biopsy test, which is very sensitive, isn't it? After getting the test, and if the doctor randomly, very cool-hearted person just gives up the result and tells, yeah, you're diagnosed as positive, will it be good for the person, for the client, for the patient? No. Similarly, in our case also, we have to present the results in a manner that is very calming for both of us, for the therapist or the tester, as well as the participant or subject. And luckily, you don't have to do all that because we are doing tests in academic settings. So obviously, too much of complications won't be there. You just have to know how to do the test, what are the properties of the test, how to score the test, who developed the test, what was it developed for, what is the theoretical background of the study, and all that. Okay, I'll send you a sample if I get the case files or the practical files of the previous years. If I get, I'll search and I'll send you. Okay. So that's the basics about psychological testing. And apart from that, research methods. You know the research methods? One is psychological testing. Other than that, last year we learned. Which are the research methods, methods of research in psychology?
Observation.
Observation. We studied participant observation, non-participant, natural versus artificial or laboratory observations. Then experiments. We studied about experiments, right? Experiments in psychology. Then survey methods. Phone interviews. It can be face-to-face interviews. It can be based on questionnaires. We'll take a survey with by handing over the questionnaires to people or the respondents. Then we have case study methods. All these we have learned. Do you remember? Okay. Then anything else? Correlation research. That is all there. But here we are just focusing on psychological testing. Okay. And when you come for the next class, please learn the topic on reliability, validity, and norms. Please read and come. Previous year's portions. If you don't have the patience to go through the textbook, just Google it. Okay. Reliability, validity, and norms. All right. Okay. Is it time to wind up the class? Kind of. Yes. Okay. So from next class onwards, we'll start the test administration, that topic. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Who was absent today? Only Amal. Right? One more. Yeah, only Amal. Ashish went. Thank you.